Class.
Just you gotta do the microphones. You gotta hook it up.
Is it? It ain't hooked up? You talking about this? Oh, my bad. I didn't put that on. You gotta give me a chance. I was getting it hooked up. Believe what I seen you.
Hey, Facebook. Yeah, Adam started.
You're not gonna subjugate me. You're not gonna bind me.
And Tamara, oh, she's in via there.
Put me in no category because I don't look like you.
Um,
Am I teaching right? And I'm gonna tell you ladies something. You look good with that little dye in your hair. That little dye in your hair make you look
what
nice.
is the bishop talking about?
Say that I bind you right now. You's a lying wonder. You look nice with a little makeup on your face. You ain't going to hell because you got a little makeup on your face. The devil is.
All right, community chatter.
To hell because you got a little earring in your ear.
What? No, I'm trying to figure out why it's coming up across the top.
Today's message with your host, Bishop Corby Bush Sr. Call Bishop Corby Bush for prayer at 214-371-8768. That's 214-371-8768. Or join Bishop Corby Bush Sr. on Facebook at Corby Bush.
All right, Robert. This is your first interview, radio? No, I'm like, okay. You got this.
A couple of years, man. I'm ready to go. But I usually talk about something else, but this time we talking about work.
Okay. We had to get you back to talk politics sometime.
If people like me, you know.
Well, we need all sides, all views.
I agree. I think it's time to start talking about what we got in common.
That's right. And if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
And I taste terrible.
So we got to talk about it. So we have and we're live, so we won't talk too much. But we have a Republican correspondent that comes.
Yeah, all
right. I call him our black Republican. He comes on and talks and keeps us. And he brings us our Republican guests because they don't always reach out to us. But if he'll bring them, we have them on.
Both that and the
When you see it, but I don't need to see it. I got proof. I follow in the leading of His Spirit, and that's the only thing I gotta do.
Can you cut it down some? Thank you. I know these guys like this Christian drill. I don't. Right, I wasn't even born in the 70s.
Really? You weren't born in the 70s?
No, I'm a
79, man.
80s baby. Late 80s.
Brother. I'm the end of
You're
end
at
of
the
X,
end of
early
an era.
millennial. I'm in the crossover period.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. I'm in the middle.
Well, your mom's a millennial?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right at the edge.
Well, I guess, it makes sense. Millennial. Now, when I was being called a millennial 10 years ago, I was really young, I guess. And now it's like, we are getting a little older. Okay.
Yeah, millennial, you ain't the young guy no more.
I'm not the young guy anymore.
What's the new generation? Z?
Gen Zers who I, can't stand that much. No.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Tamara Robert Tamara.
Nice to meet you, Tamara. Pleasure. I like your glasses.
Thank you. Tanya, can you change Pam
I'm going to tell you to tell Tanya.
access to the red room where Rossi is?
Whoever texted yesterday. Say it to my face next
time.
That's my girl, Tanya, right? Inglewood Tanya.
No, that was Tanya. How many minutes I got?
No, we don't have one more song. We coming in. 1 minute.
You got 30 seconds if you want to come right on in.
Come in, do the intro, then go out.
You don't tell me what to do.
It's Tuesday. Yes, I do.
Like I don't care what day. Every day the ending, why I tell me what to do. God tell me what to do. No, I'm kidding.
Robert, this is Tamara.
I see who's in charge around here.
Yeah. Clearly, everybody believes that.
That's right. No. Oh, we don't have time for.
No.
Okay. You saw my thing I sent you?
The resource?
The resource, yes.
Are you ready for a miracle? Listen, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's the type of God that we serve. He blesses us even when we don't expect it. It's Tuesday. It is my favorite day of the week, but any day above ground is a good day. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and you're rocking with the Brunch Bunch. And I'm proud to be posted with clearly my boss.
It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air. And finally, today is Testimony Tuesday. Finally, you get it. Finally, you get it.
Oh, I'm testifying.
That's
You
right.
know what, God? Why hast thou forsaken me? Listen, I am so excited to be a great leader.
You must be a great follower.
Must be a great follower. So I do not mind leading behind the Tamara Fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to see about that.
But not
so
today,
far,
not on Tuesday.
So far it hasn't happened.
Listen, we got a great show for you today. We are moving expeditiously because there's so much great information that we want to get out to you. And you know, there's always our aim to send you back better than you came. So listen, call your friends and your frenemies and tell them to tune in to the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. Now you can go do your thing and come on right back. Oh, you know what? Oh, I missed that. Oh, dog it. Cut it. It still ain't on now. Oh, he didn't press enter studio.
You want to do Black History Fact?
And administrative assistant.
Yeah, we can do it quick, and then we gonna go. Let me see.
Empowerment. Mark your calendars from March 25th through 28th at Corinthian Temple Church of God in Christ, 4520 West Washington Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois. Empowerment sessions.
Hey, put it back. I want it. Can't have nothing. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking to Justice. He pulled something out of my hair. I always used to do me like that. I'm like, it's something on your shirt. He be like, put it back. I can't have nothing.
What happened?
Yeah, something in his hair.
Justin took something out of my hair. I said, put it back. I want it.
Somebody smells like queefs up in here.
It may be me.
No. Oh, wait. Did you put on the...
You got on the new one?
You got on the... You got on the blue one?
I got on the blue one.
But I
You
smell...
only got one men cologne.
I smell... No, it's two. Because it's unisex. Forbidden Kiss is unisex.
I don't do the unisex.
Do you have on Forbidden Kiss?
I do the D. Hermes.
Well, you got to stop that.
She has her own line of perfumes and colognes.
Hey, I got my own boss, and that's what
That's
she
right.
wants. And that's what she wants. So,
I'm gonna have to get with her.
Hey, one man can't serve two bosses.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
So she likes that. That's what I wear.
I'm gonna do Black History and go right into rock.
Okay. 30 seconds.
Safety isn't optional. It's a necessity.
I'm so glad you're doing Black History. I can keep on eating.
Yes. I just left Around the World Cafe, which is right here in River North, owned by Candace and Carlos. And it is a really nice spot.
It's in River Northwest Street, Franklin?
On Wells.
Well?
Right across from Hooters.
Oh. 5 seconds. What do they serve?
Everything.
Really?
Coffee. It was nice.
There we go. That's good.
Of course, it's Women's History Month, but here on the Brunch Bunch, we celebrate Black Women's History Month, and we want to shine lights on Black women who have paved the way. And as a co-founder of Operation Push, the one and only Willie Beatrice Barrow was a tireless advocate for anyone and everyone in need. Nicknamed the Little Warrior, she was a fierce fighter for justice and community organizer. Reverend Barrow mentored enormously influential figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and President Barack Obama, and established the Barrow Fund for Black Women's Leadership. Barrow was named the city's Woman of the Year in 1969 at a time you wouldn't think that Reverend Barrow would have been named Woman of the Year. A very nice accolade for one of the great women in Chicago's history. So that is our Black Women's History Fact of the Day. Shout out to the late, great Reverend Willie Barrow. Listen, we have great people of all, from all diasporas, of all backgrounds, doing amazing things. And our next guest, we're jumping right in because he's doing some amazing things, and I couldn't wait to have him on the show. So today on the Brunch Bunch, we want to welcome Robert Cruz, a seasoned real estate investor with over 21 years of experience in the industry. As a former member of the First Look program, Robert has completed over 400 renovation projects and now serves as a HUD consultant, working with 4 lending partners in the Chicagoland area. With deep expertise in FHA and home-style loan programs, he has built strong partnerships with contractors and lenders to revitalize communities. Robert will break down the current state of the renovation loan space, which we've been talking about,
Yep.
and where it's headed, and how these programs can transform neighborhoods by increasing home ownership. Let's give a warm brunch welcome to Robert Cruz.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on the show today. It's so high energy. I love it. I was on my way over here. I was a little, you get the nerves out before you get here.
Yeah.
Now I'm just excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you.
Thank you very
are.
much.
Robert waved his hand like he was in the parade.
Yeah.
When we start clapping,
How's
he's like,
everybody
thank you. But Robert, I met a few months ago.
Yes,
We
sir.
are actually working on a project
Yep.
together.
Yep.
And one of the things that we hear about when it comes to renovation loans, people are afraid of them. We heard that the other
And
day.
they're not too familiar with them.
They're not
so
too
I'm
familiar.
glad that we're really putting a spotlight on it.
And somebody said, who we were talking to, our real estate pro,
Yes.
said that, Natasha said Friday that people don't like to sometimes do the renovation because it takes a little bit longer because dealing with contractors.
But it wasn't the process, it was the contractor's
right. It was the
delay.
contractor, right? Them not doing right, you not knowing how to manage them because you're not a contractor,
And because they're busy scheduled, they can't get all the information in.
but that's what Robert does. You hire Robert, and he will help you to make sure that your contractors do what they say they can do. So can you, Robert, give us an overview of the current state of the renovation loan space and what trends are you seeing in the market?
Sure. So the renovation loan space, again, can be a scary place. There's so many stories of people feeling like they got one over on them. There's 2 types. There's hard money, and now there's conventional. Conventional has become a stronger presence in the market through the 203K and the home style loans. Those are both a little different, but both require a HUD consultant. To make it, I tell my customers, we kind of make it stupid simple because everyone's purchasing it for the first time, and they're nervous, and they don't know how the steps may go. So first step, got to make sure we have no chip paint, water intrusion, or foundation issues. Anything that happens like that where a child could put something in their mouth and get sick and die, anyone could bump their head, go to the hospital, or if the building has become water intrusiveness, it devalues the property. That's our first, what we look for first. Number 2, we look for what the villages and the cities are asking for of these customers. Because most of the people who are purchasing these loans, purchasing these buildings, are buying dilapidated product, right? Something's wrong with it.
I like those.
Right? Yeah, I mean, well, that's where the value's at. And then you have to find out what each city or village needs or requires from that. And then third, it's what you want as your customer, your kitchen design, your bathroom design. And I take all of that and I put it into a document, it's a 36-point document that we give to the underwriters to help you get closed. And in that process, we hand that out to the different contractors. Now, one of the services that I like to feel like it differentiates myself is coming from the contractor background, is I got networks of people. Hey, this person, I know a contractor that lives 20 minutes away from you. He might be the best fit for you. Instead of hiring that guy from Elgin or that guy from somewhere else who's driving an hour and ain't got much time for you. This is part of the reason what you mentioned, how they can't get the information in. Right? It's also about, proximity. That's a big thing for contractors. A lot of guys are like, I don't want to drive that hour, so I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
How many times you heard that?
And tomorrow never comes.
And tomorrow never comes because they end up finding something closer to them.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2, coordinating different contractors and setting the tone. Hey, look, I'm here to oversee. I'm not here to get in the way. But if I see something I don't like, we're going to have a problem. Right? And that goes also, too, sometimes for the owners. Maybe sometimes the owners have bigger eyes than their budgets.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Or design changes.
Or you open up a wall and all of a sudden we got a host of termites.
Oh. Don't say
Don't say
termites.
termites. Oh, Lord.
Don't
Now,
say.
it's rare and few and far between, but how do we navigate that? Because when times are good, nobody needs a general contractor, nobody needs a HUD consultant. It's when things don't go well.
Yep.
Is when you brand yourself as a problem solver. And I tell every customer, my job is we're about to venture on this journey. The lender's gone. The real estate agent is gone. Me and you are financially married now, and my job is to dock the boat because we just left one place and we're trying to get to the next place.
That's good.
And how we dock the boat, that's all going to come in different times in different ways. But and plus the lender wants to dock the boat too,
Yep.
right? Everybody gets what they want. Most of the time people are purchasing a 2-unit because they want to rent it out, one, or maybe they're starting a family and they got 2 kids, they live in an apartment, now they need more space. Let's get you to the finish line. And so that way, you know, one, referrals are the best way to get new business. Marketing can be suspect. And 2, good karma comes around when you help people out.
Yep.
It always comes around. It's what does it say? It's tenfold in the Bible.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So those are my 2 rules: help people out, and let's get to the finish line.
So you also said something very important, contractors. Now, am I to understand that you help the buyer navigate through the contractor pool?
Yeah. So in these loans, the contractors actually have to front the money,
Oh.
and then they get reimbursed. And then we go, so we have to find the right people, because if you got a guy who ain't got no money,
You ain't getting nothing
he
done.
ain't gonna get nothing done.
Well, because that's a big, scary situation in and of itself, selecting a contractor
Yeah.
that's, 1, going to show up, number 2, going to do what they said they were going to do, and number 3, finish the job.
Yeah, and the contractors who've got, reserves, I always find themselves, those were the guys that finish the job, right? Because that's why they got money. And I joke around, you need some pizza, you need some dough if you want to make some pizza.
That's right.
Right? You can't make no pizza without it. So we want to help with the interview process, because people have their preferred contractors, and I never tell people not to find their own guys. I just want to talk to them about what to expect in this loan, because maybe I can stop an expectation from happening or a situation from happening just by describing to the contractor, hey man, you know this is going to happen here. This is how this is going to go here. Are you good with it? Right? Get it out in a group talk. That way is no, I didn't know, or what had happened was kind of attitude.
That what had happened was always follows with it didn't happen.
Yes.
But I think that's amazing, because if a contractor has a vested interest in the project, they're more likely to finish the project and make sure that the project is done to the customer's specifications.
Yeah.
But not necessarily true.
I know,
'Cause
but
I've
I
heard
said-
some horror stories. That's why Robert is so important, because the contractors, I've had some 203K loans that I know of, and it's like I had to change contractors
Midstream?
halfway through projects.
Really?
Yeah, because
And they put the money up front?
and some some of them are, but they're putting money up front, but they're not gonna put a lot up front. They're gonna do what they can do to get
Yes.
reimbursed, so then they can get some more money and keep going. So but that's where Robert comes in to make sure, because if your contractor say, Tammy, I did $20,000 worth of work, I'm about to pull that reimbursement down. The bank not gonna ask you to verify, 'cause you don't know, you
Yeah.
just believe the bank gonna just pay them. But they only did $5,000 worth of work.
I know somebody that just happened to, and it's a very big project. It was an over $2 million project, and they lost so much time and money.
Which
No.
the time is the
time.
most important.
Yes.
Well, the time feels like you're trapped in purgatory when nothing's going on. And part of the relationship between the owner and the contractor and being the consultant is getting them to communicate on a regular basis. I always tell the customers and the contractors, I got to give you an opportunity to work out your differences, right? Can't just jump in every single time and fix it. But I'll encourage, hey, I saw you did this. Maybe you should think about doing it this way. And to the owner, hey, maybe, cut him a break. He was here. He fixed the problem that he did. He's not like he's going somewhere. I recently had a project on the east side where a woman had been going through it for 2 years. Contractor, city came in, all of it. Brought a new guy, a guy in for kind of his first time. And he didn't have all the working knowledge, but he had something that I believe is you can't teach. He showed up.
Yeah.
And when he came, when he had the time, he was there. Now, he went in spurts. He went 8-10 days work, and then he'd stop for a couple of days so he could recoup his money. But he was always coming and going, as he said. And even though she was getting frustrated, I kind of reminded her, hey, look, remember that time when the guy didn't show up for 2 months? Not showing up for 4 days. Maybe you're getting flashbacks of that, but that's not happening on a consistent basis, because he was communicating with me, and both parties usually communicate with me and tell me what they don't like about the other part. I listen, try to play the middle role. Sometimes I usually try to play all right, well, let's make sure we're all looking in the mirror first before we start doing all this and that. But most of the time, let's figure out the solutions, because everybody wants the contractor wants to get paid, do a good job. The owner wants
A finished product.
a finished product so they can move on with their lives. So,
Well, you got that kind of soft, calm mediator presence about you, so you're perfect for what you're doing.
Not all the time.
Well, if you're dealing with contractors, you got to have another side too.
There are days where I get back into my I used to play football and where you're getting in the locker room and getting in somebody's face, but I'd say 80% of the time now I try to stay calm and reserved. It's difficult because you do hear some really foolish things that people are saying and doing, and it's just spiteful.
So where do you see the renovation loan programs headed in the next few years? And are there any new developments or policies that could impact these situations?
Right now, and speaking of that, Washington, D.C. is thinking about releasing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac from conservatorship, which would deregulate and allow them to be more aggressive. I'm not sure how good that's going to be in the short term or long term, but for example, there's a lot of people in different communities, Hispanic, Black, white communities, where they're looking at a property been sitting in their neighborhood for 10 years, but it don't meet the program at the current rate. But now that Fannie Mae might be getting rid of that regulation, they might come in now and say, hey, that meets the program now. Let's get someone from the neighborhood to buy it. Because home ownership in communities is directly impacts the crime in that neighborhood. The higher the home ownership rate, the lower the crime rate.
That's true.
Robert, people are saying, how do I connect? So, and we got to have you back, and we're going to have you more to kind of educate, but let's give the contact information for those that are saying, hey, I'm about to embark on trying to purchase a property to renovate. How can they connect?
You can either go to my website at Cruz, C-R-U-Z, consulting services.com. Send me a link there. Be happy to connect with anyone who's thinking about doing it. It's not just 203Ks. I know there are investors out there who are looking for help just to coordinate projects, so I'm here to help whoever needs help.
All right, that's Cruz, C-R-U-Z-E, consultingservices.com. That's Robert Cruz. Trust me, he can be trusted, and he is actually my consultant on a project that we are praying daily for.
Let me ask you a question. Is it considered a renovation, and is it eligible for a renovation loan if you own your property and you want to build a tiny house on the property?
Yes, so that would be considered a renovation loan because you're adding an additional asset. So you'd have to change your zoning. You'd have to go through the zoning process for that. There's a permitting process for that too, so you'd have to go through that process. But yes, that would count. And then one last thing with the Fannie Mae stuff, they're even talking about doing investor 203Ks.
What?
Now wait a minute. Now
that's a rumor. I know that's kind of floating around the locker room and the water cooler talk, so to speak. But they want to get into that space because you do see a lot of properties that go vacant, apartment buildings. Maybe people can't afford to live in those. You give it an opportunity for an investment, it might change.
Well, Robert, we've enjoyed having you. We got to have you back on the show again. Listen, go to cruzconsultingservices.com. We'll post that on our website. Listen, community chat is up next, and we got more resources, more great people for you to meet. Don't go nowhere. We have way more to share right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Well, why did you cut his interview short? I wanted to have some more.
I bet you did. You got to get his number.
We have to come back.
No,
well,
am I done with this? Am I good with this? Just leave it up.
Come on, let's get a picture. Look, I tell you definitely got to do client
I
right
sure
here.
do because Mariah just asked me about putting a tiny house on the back of the house.
Why does she want to move out?
All set? I'm just pressing that lead button. Yeah, I'll get it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, we'll let you be at the head, and then we'll put my sister here. Should we take
It's the Community Chatter Spotlight where we shine a light on hidden figures making a difference. Brought to you by Win-Win Communications. Today we're spotlighting the Women's Business Development Center. Drop that intro next. Oh, I mean if I know the radio. I don't.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I gotta get you.
Hi, Nisha. Hey, Tanya. Christy
Did you find
Love.
what I asked you? No. Okay.
That was a great interview.
Good to see you, though.
It was. I know you was gonna be interested. I didn't want to cut it like that, but I said Tammy probably got 100 questions
I
on
sure
him.
did. Especially because that's what she wants to do. And I told her
He
you could
helped
get
me
around.
navigate. He
Hmm.
got me my permit expediter.
Oh, wow.
She moving too. I refer to somebody. They call me back.
Yes, you did. You made it, Miss Love.
Located conveniently in the Soul City
What's
corridor.
up, Tina?
We're here to help you get the maximum refund you deserve. And if you're outside
DJ
Chicago,
B-Lo.
no problem. We offer nationwide services to meet your needs wherever you are. Call EMS
Nico.
Pros Tax Office today.
Nikayo.
773
Oh, Nikayo. I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name. Thank you, spell corrector.
You got some nerve English correct them to the come to you.
Exactly.
Experienced and here to serve you.
Hi there, it's Wynona Redmond. It's time to win because it's time for Community Chatter, brought to you by Win-Win Communications.
Lucy's birthday, heavenly birthday.
Don't mess me up before we start.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Dear Lucy, happy birthday to you.
all right, you go fade this down. I'll talk over it.
Okay.
Well, it is community chatter, but it's not. It is a national holiday here on the Brunch
It
Bunch.
is.
We are now officially on March the 25th. It is I Love Lucy Day,
All
and that's none
right.
other than
Woo!
Wynona Redmond's mother. Happy heavenly birthday, Lucy.
That's awesome. Now you done made her cry.
I know. Listen, you know
You
what?
know, it's a holiday.
Yes.
And I tell you, when God prepares you, Lucy Redmond Wright was my hero.
Hmm.
Women's History Month, she was born March 25th. Women's History Month is, she just was my everything. So I always said she was the first PR person I met because
Hmm.
she talked to everyone.
Hmm.
But she was a caregiver. She was a nurse. We called her Dr. Lucy, but she um, she just was everything. So we started Dear Me Care Circle, a nonprofit, because we found out just how important it was to care. And we also are going to start Your Mama podcast this Mother's Day. Your
Your
Mama
mama, not your
podcast.
mama.
No, yourmamapodcast.com.
Okay, let's
But
be
um,
clear.
but I'm so excited to have in the studio with us today Lucy Jr. My sister, my big sister Rochelle Simpson, who I call Lucy Jr. She looks just like her, and she's 5 years older than me, and she was my other mother. But Rochelle Simpson, my
Welcome, welcome,
Welcome.
sister,
welcome.
um, and she's Lucy Jr. So while mom is in heaven, she's definitely Lucy Jr. She's the vice president of the board of the nonprofit we've started for family caregivers, and she's been over 40 years in HR and banking HR. She's the women's Bible study agape ministry leader at Greater Rock Church, our family church. So we have lots to talk about. We have a Mother's Day brunch coming up and a family caregiver expo coming up later this year. My other guest, because I told you guys during the month of March, it's only going to be folks that are really, really close and special, is Mr. Donald Dew. And we're going to start with Donald. It's National Social Work Month. But Donald has just been a huge, huge, over 40 years at Habilitative Systems Inc. On the west side, but he also reaches throughout the city. Donald Dew has just a distinguished background. Since you'd have made me smear up my glasses, uh, I wanted Donald to come in and start. Donald has started historically black community based organizations. He has a milestone ribbon cutting with all of the renovations done at the 100-year facility for HSI, and deservedly so. All branches of government have supported HSI's renovation, but Donald is, dealing with Wellness West, the collaborative bridges. He's helped with everybody's event. He get making sure that the dollars from cannabis go towards programming. But Donald, welcome.
Welcome back, brother
Welcome
Donald
back.
Duke.
Thank you all so much.
It's always great to see you.
And he gonna have to
Likewise.
do some meditation and bring up some calm before it's over. But Donald, we want to jump right in. It's a history month when you talk about National Social Work. When you talk about all of the attacks at the federal level, but you have been fighting the good fight for over 40 years, and this historic event on Friday.
Yes.
Tell us about what's going on.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this beautiful forum once again, Wynona. Um, Happy birthday, heavenly birthday to your mom.
Thank you.
Happy Women's History Month to all of our beautiful sisters who have been serious in the struggle. And that's another whole story that I won't get into at this time, but I salute all of our women, our beautiful, powerful women serving leaders. There's a powerful event happening this Friday. HSI was born out of Clear Christian United Methodist Church in 1978. This is the original building that we inhabited back during that time. But for this 100-year-old building to go through a significant renovation effort, Congressman Davis was able to get a congressional earmark for 500,000. Senator Lakeisha Collins was able to secure another 400,000 through the state. We were able to get Rebuild Chicago and Republic Services to come together and team for another 250,000. We were able to get Proven IT Technology to say we want to build your technology lab for another 100,000. So we've had all of these great partners coming to celebrate the work and the service of HSI, and our statement to say, continue your good work. And to be able to do so in this beautiful renovated facility, it's just inspiring. It's talk about the tears flowing. It's been powerful to see all the staff coming together, over 100 staff coming together to make this thing happen and working behind the scenes. Staff who have other roles in HR and therapy and everything else, they're volunteering for this event, coming together to make it happen. So it's a great opportunity.
Over $1 million.
Yes.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
I didn't do justice on your introduction because over 40 years, and when you walk into HSI before this remodel, you have a wall of history.
Yes.
All of the historic figures, Harold Washington, Barack Obama when he was a community advocate. It's history in your building.
Yeah, and a lot of these folks have had a hand in HSI. I mean, it's amazing. Folks like Michael Scott Sr.
Senior.
Was in fact the chairman of the search committee when I became the CEO back in 1990. Erwin France, Dr. Erwin France was one of our consultants and led our management retreats. Ralph Moore was our first board chair during the time when we lost our former executive director, Larry T. Bird, who we've named our administrative building after. Larry was the first executive director at HSI for 10 years, and he died an untimely death at 39 years old.
Wow.
And Erwin France was consulting with him, helping him deal with the notion of succession planning. And it's not a thing that black organizations do very well. And so we learned that lesson during Larry Bird's transition, that we as a historically black community-based organization needed to do succession planning much better.
Yeah.
And you founded, you coined historically black community-based organizations. Is it a year now?
Yes, it's about a year.
And it's .org or .com?
.org.
Okay, so
Oh,
HBCBO, wait,
yep.
historically
Black
black
community
community,
organization.
HBCBO.org.
Right.
Donald coined that. And with all of the services, I love walking into HSI. You have, folks that are different developmental stages where they have made all kinds of pieces for the airport. And you've got veterans, you've got seniors, you've got the number of programs that HSI manages.
It's a blessing to be able to serve. And folks have been asking, well, Donald, when are you going to retire? You've been over 40 years. I said, retire from what?
Right.
This stopped being a job a long time ago. And, when you talk about historically black community-based organizations, what we're really doing is talking about the legacy of us uplifting each other. I mean, the black church, we're talking about the black settlement houses. And after Martin Luther King's assassination, a lot of our organizations developed to continue the struggle. And, we know they were coming up on the assassination of Martin Luther King. And, I used to think, Wynona, that I had missed the civil rights movement.
Mm.
I didn't miss it. It never stopped.
It never
We're
stopped.
we're into another chapter of civil rights movement.
Yep.
Into another chapter. And all these programs have been an attempt for us to respond to intense community need with our elders, with our children. Suicide rate is phenomenal in our community among our children. Our children are not well. Our children are still disproportionately represented in the child welfare and juvenile justice systems. It's criminal what our children are still going through.
Yeah.
And we've got to continue to struggle.
I like what you said, and I want to just point out, Reverend Al Sharpton said it best. He said, we may not be dealing with Jim Crow, we're dealing with Jim Crow Jr.
That's true.
And
I like that.
it has not ended. So,
And I, for one, I know I speak for many people who even just not directly been involved with HSI, but have just rubbed elbows with HSI. Never want you to retire. Like what you have done is phenomenal, and we need people in spaces and places like HSI.
Yeah, because you're doing all generations.
Yes.
And you and the veterans piece is even new and expanded. And you brought in your veterans women and
Yep. We're trying our best right now. We've been providing permanent supportive housing to special needs populations for over 40 years. And so that's, of course, 120 units for senior citizens, another 40 units of housing for people with disabilities, a recovery home for women, halfway house for men, several supportive residential facilities for persons with severe mental illness. And let me just pause for the cause and say over 100 staff are running these programs on a 365-day basis.
Wow.
I mean, it's phenomenal to see staff doing the work that they're doing and making the difference that they're making. And, when we look at ultimately where we're trying to go with our children, for example, we've formed a group now called the Gen Z Mental Health Ambassadors, because our youth were saying, well, wait a minute now, something's going on. We're starting to kill ourselves. What's going on in our psyche? And they've got a concept called generational trauma that's affecting our children as well. Epigenetics
That's very real.
It's real. I mean, so we cannot ignore the need that's going on in our communities, and we cannot act as if this is a different type of struggle. It's the same struggle in a different suit.
Well, amazing that you're able to renovate and perpetuate the good work that you've been doing. And so it's all going down. When, where, how do they get there?
This Friday, 11 o'clock a.m., 415 South Kilpatrick, Chicago, west side of Chicago.
Woo, 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 woo.
And, let me just highlight, we've opened up occupational therapy services in the new site, physical therapy, a mindfulness center, because we've been able to engage in evidence-based work, trauma-informed care for our youth. We're still going to be doing light manufacturing and integrated work for persons with disabilities, as well as our technology center. And we're going to feature gaming in the technology center.
Oh, wow.
I did not realize that our youth could actually make money gaming.
Oh, yeah.
And,
They invented the algorithm.
I mean, so we've got a young brother that's going to be doing a demonstration on how to be able to be an entrepreneur at gaming in the technology center as well.
So do they have to register or they show up?
Just show up.
Just show
Yeah,
up
just
from
show up. Just
11
come on by.
a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's all going down this Friday, March 20th. You don't want to miss this because everybody knows somebody that needs the services HSI offers. Yeah, this is great. You know what? Gen Zers now, we often talk about Gen Zers because we got our own Gen Zs up in here. And
Do
so,
we?
yes,
No.
we do. Because they're the generation that want to be heard, they want to be seen. We need a mental health day. We don't understand that kind of situation. But it's here to stay, and we got to know how to blend our generation with theirs.
So
Absolutely.
habilitative.org, all these programs and services he's talking about. But Donald, you got to run through some. I mean, you done help with archery, you done help with collaborative bridges, a physical brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And you've got wellness programs there. You've got, and with Wellness West, the largest group for the health collaboratives, you've just done it all. But when you did the census, you kept saying, you know, it was a holistic approach. And he and Dennis, our brother, the late Dennis Deere, they painted the town purple and gold for with the census project throughout the
I'm not
city,
mad at that.
throughout
You throw
the
them hooks
west
up.
side and south side, and we have this big program on Friday, but the ribbon cutting, not the groundbreaking, did have purple sand.
Yes.
What?
Yes, it
Where
did.
did they get
Shovels
that
and
We
from?
found
Why
purple
purple
not?
sand.
We found purple sand. Yes, we did.
But the
Wow.
ribbon cutting on Friday will have red, right? Red.
Well, we'll see about that.
It's gonna be a
We
surprise.
can't Q cap it.
Well, listen, believers, you wanna connect with HSI habilitative.org. They're doing some great work. You want to be there Friday, and when we get back, we're gonna keep this community chatter going. We're still gonna hear from the great Lucy Jr.
That's
We're gonna
right.
and we're
talk
gonna
about
keep
your
talking to
mama.
Donald Do. But you know what?
Your
I don't know
mama.
about you, but this segment so far has made me feel all right. I'm like Erica Campbell. It's feel all right here on the brunch
Feel
bunch.
all right.
Feel all right one time. Let me tell you something. I named a perfume after your organization.
Really?
Yep. My men's perfume is called Q, inspired by my favorite fraternity.
Really?
Yes, I'll have to
I
get
don't
you
know
some.
that's why you
cool.
named it Q.
Well,
I'm
yep.
telling your Alpha
She
brothers
she
that.
wrote the
I mean,
book.
okay.
Layla, her, it's a book and a doll. Did I give her both of them? I just gave her the doll. Okay, I got to get another book. Okay.
You know we got 5 books now.
She wrote a book about the little black turtle, and then she
The purple turtle.
the purple turtle.
Oh, you just
So
love
it's
purple. You know the
it's a book
book.
and a doll. It's a book and a doll.
That is so
I
cool.
got both of them for Layla. I just need to figure out what the book
You
was.
need
All
to
right,
be
all
partnering with the Qs so they can
I'm
put these
collaborating with them,
purple
and that was
turtles.
one of my marketing
Uh,
strategies
well.
because it is my favorite fraternity. Like
know-
literally,
You know the
on the
conclave
yard.
is coming here.
The
in
conclave is
2028.
You know I know, right?
All right, all right, 2028.
2028.
Yeah, that
Yep,
is so cool.
2028.
Yeah.
So I have, and I could actually deal with you on that too because
Yeah.
I really have sent every Q that I know. I sent them
Yeah.
a sample of it, and it does smell. They have it on now.
Really?
Yep.
I got it. Did I tell you? I probably did. So if I'm repeating myself, you don't have to say nothing, Tammy.
Okay.
But Cheryl Burton told me like 4 times how good it's.
I didn't say nothing.
Did
See,
I tell you that
I
already?
understood them assignment.
I didn't say it already.
Now, Tammy,
Right to you, but not to him.
You said it on air.
Tammy, where's the sample?
You got some on
You
you?
have a sample? Where's the
No,
sample?
I don't carry it around with me. You ain't got nothing in the car?
No, but I'll get it to you.
Thank you. Because, I want to make sure our state rep gets it, district representative.
Oh,
Sean.
really?
You know Sean.
Okay. LaShawn?
Yeah, no, Sean.
Sean.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make sure he gets
Okay,
it.
okay, cool.
They're about to do a district council.
I'll give you, not samples, but I'll give you bottles so that you can pass them out to your prep.
Now, when I did my short stint in college, I wanted to be a Q dog.
That makes sense.
I really wanted to.
Me
I can't
too.
say what I wanted
to
to
be one
do.
too. Not a cute pearl. I want to be a
Ah!
cute. No, and it's definitely not too late. Everybody needs you. No, seriously.
And I love this Q cologne, so maybe,
It does smell really good.
it does.
Yeah.
I'm taking one of my. Let's talk after. I'm a Gen Zer.
This is when?
3 seconds. Get ready.
You are a millennial.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and I'm proudly posted next to.
It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and the Gen Zers in here have gone mad.
They've
Just
been
wanna say that.
mad.
They've gone mad.
And it is community chatter. And each and every week, Wynona brings us great guests. We always either meet a new best friend or we are reconnected with an old one. But we're so excited. Wynona brought family with her because it is a national holiday here. It is I Love Lucy Day.
And we consider that a holiday for real. And Donald, of course, is a brother. And but Rochelle Simpson is my big sis, and she's Lucy Jr. We so my mother Lucy was a neonatal intensive care unit nurse for years. So we grew up, Donald, in the household where we heard stories about babies coming in with their the insides on the outside. And my mother did so many things. How many years? She was at Children's Memorial Hospital in the neonatal intensive care unit. She actually was one of those success stories, a welfare to work, where she actually utilized the system to go to school at Malcolm X College
Wow.
and got her LPN. And she made a career for my Aunt Iria Sanders because she was able to get the dollars to be a daycare provider. And my Aunt Iria ran daycare out of her home on Sawyer for years, beyond us growing up. And my mother, she just had a distinguished career as a nurse. She was always a giver. But we heard stories growing up about health in the hospitals. And
Mm-hmm.
so we
That's a
started.
tough job. That's a big job.
Yep. So we are going to be doing Your Mama podcast, and Rochelle can share what she will about my mother. But we started a nonprofit. My grandmother's birth name was Dear Me. As
Oh,
soon as she,
wow.
the Pitts, Lily and Offie Pitts, they named her Dear Me. And as soon as she turned 18, she changed her name to Ruby.
Oh, okay.
But that's why we say Dear Me Care
I
Circle.
love it.
When you're caring for your loved ones, as professionals, we end up caring for our loved ones. Then we have to find caregivers that help us. So we are doing our second annual Dear Me Care Circle pre-Mother's Day brunch. Last year I had to figure out what can we do to survive this first Mother's Day without our mom, and we did that. And so we are going to open up. Folks can nominate caregivers. We celebrated family recommended caregivers. So if you go to dearmecarecircle.org, you'll find information on the Mother's Day brunch. We have a limited capacity, but it is going to be at the Hyatt Medical District facility. It's the old Cook County
Mm-hmm.
Hospital. That's where my mother was a nursing student. That's where my dad retired as a Cook County sergeant of police. That's where my twin brother, Winslow Redmond, worked with the foster group to build the computers, run computer programming. And that's where I was public affairs director. And so we're doing it at a very special place. It is 1835 West Harrison, 10 a.m. Mother's Day brunch. Kim Stratton will be singing, and we have policymakers. So many policymakers are caregivers. Leader Kimberly Lightford, caring for her mom. She's
Mm-hmm.
one of our folks. Rep Camille Lilly, caring for her dad, her late dad, and her mom. Uh, Clerk Monica Gordon has passed, legislation for the county as a caregiver. There is so many services still needed. I talk about Karen Freeman from the Chicago Urban League, cared for her mother into over 13 years at home. And just so many of us are professionals that are caregivers. But Rochelle has been, we cared for mom. So, the message on the caregiving. It was a family event where we had to divide and conquer. So the lessons learned. Come on, I done
Well,
did all the
welcome,
talking.
Rochelle. Yeah,
Yes.
welcome.
My mother was a remarkable lady, and as Winona was speaking about her time at Children Memorial, I am rooted in faith. That's who I
Mm-hmm.
am. And so, with that, I often think about my mother's journey, how God placed her in a renowned hospital in the city of Chicago, one of the top children's hospital in Illinois. My mother had the gift of helps.
Mm-hmm.
So being a caregiver, it was just a natural thing for her. Oftentimes there were babies who no one wanted to care for.
Mm.
And my mother recognized that many of the nurses, for whatever reason, the children were very ill. And so it was going to require constant attention. The babies may not go to sleep, so forth and so on. But mother always selected to take those children, and the families were always so grateful for her. So it was natural. She was a natural caregiver. She cared for people in our family. She went to everyone's hospital visit, so forth and so on. I was probably 50 years old, had a toothache. She brought my father out at 11 o'clock because I had a toothache to bring me some
Oh,
medicine.
wow.
But that's who she was. Lots of lessons learned through our journey. Um, we we um, we had a team to make it happen. And I heard Winona list a lot of people who have cared for their moms or their parents, but you know, it's the lady down the street who doesn't have resources,
Yep.
or that mother in your church who doesn't have resources, who would benefit from just understanding what's available, what could be available, or just that ear or the support that Dear Me Care Circle might be able to provide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you know, you said something very, very significant. Caring for the hard to care for. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be in the neonatal or the children's arena. Adults are very hard to
Absolutely.
care for. My brother literally moved himself from LA and moved in with my mom to care for her. My mom's not the easiest person to care for.
Yeah.
And she doesn't require a lot of physical care, but the mental part
Yeah.
of it can be
Absolutely.
very waning on a caregiver.
Absolutely.
So I segue that to say you, Winona, said that you could nominate caregivers. Do you nominate it on dearmecarecircle.org?
DearMeCareCircle.org. Our Facebook page is getting busy and lit up too. So if you Google Dear Me Care Circle, we're on Facebook too. And caregiving is all different levels.
Yep.
I take my hat off all the time to Marcel because Marcel is, a caregiver to, you got Valencia, you've got MJ, that
I
and
got Otis who's tuned in.
Otis. Otis doing okay,
I
but he
think
could
he
go.
taking care of me, he
Yeah,
said.
yeah. But you and so we have generations. We have Sandy Lynn. She took great good care of her partner for years. He was
Hmm.
a veteran, and so there are so many services and programs that we also will recognize. We like the home health agency that my mother had. There are so when just like when you are doing complaints, you got to do compliments.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we are, we're opening it up. Of course, we'll be talking to the Alzheimer's Association. We'll be talking, to the Dementia Association. Dr. David Ansel has been phenomenal. He's one of our Wellness West partners. He's
Yes.
Collaborative Bridges,
Hmm.
but he has been, just a big supporter to even through Rush, through Westside United, all
Yes.
the resources available. So we want to recognize those folks as well as when you go to dearmecarecircle.org, lots of resources. The mental health. There's a list of resources. We want to be a hub to help folks, and caregiving is exhausting.
It's
Ooh.
not easy.
Well,
But I
I
want to
want to.
get the spelling out because people are saying that they can't pull it up. It's because it's Deer, not
DE,
Dear.
no, it
No,
is
it's
DEAR.
Oh,
DEAR. Yes.
Dear,
Dear.
dear,
Dear.
Dear me.
ME,
Okay.
dear me, care, CARE,
Okay.
circle is all spelled out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dear
that E
me,
was not
care,
right. It's just
circle,
Dear.
Dear
dear
Me
me,
Care
care,
Circle.
circle.org.
I want to say kudos to you too
Yes.
for the great work that you did taking care of your mother to make sure that she was taken care of. And kudos to Miss Lucy
Yes.
because I know how important it is to have a great, caring neonatal ICU nurse. And I would have not known that if my son didn't have so many. But it was some that come in the room and I would have to go out and say, no, we don't want her. And it was some that I knew I can go have lunch because
That's
they
right.
was gonna take care of my baby. And so that was stressful in itself. But to have someone like Lucy as the nurse made a big difference. And lastly, what I love about you take your pain and turn it into passion where then you allow God to use you to help other people, which is amazing because sometimes we go through and we just go through it. When God brings us out, we don't tell nobody how we got out. We don't share how we made it. But caretakers need this help because I had to tell someone the other day, this agency works for me. I don't work for this agency. And if I don't like the services being provided to my son, I'm going to change agencies. But everybody don't have the wherewithal to think that. And so you guys bringing those resources help.
And we want to continue to build that group because it was you wake up and you're in the middle of it. You know, we would be in the hospital and they were like, if your mother doesn't do this, she'll need a feeding tube. If she doesn't pass the swallow test, my sister was like, close the door. We're gonna practice with a straw. Yeah. She was like, but you need to have those stories, and then so we can talk in the community chat. What about this? What about that?
What do you think this should do? I got a group with MJ with other kids that go through what he has, but I can ask. Well, they said he should be on this medicine. No, don't let him do that. Or when they say, I think MJ should be on this chemo drug, I'm like, first I'm going to talk to God, then I'm going to go to this group, and then we're going to see before I let you just give my baby stuff.
We definitely got prayer. We definitely, Hermine Hartman had Pastor Hunter come because he was one of the ones that helped her. And, of course, our pastor, family pastor, Reverend James, he took care of his wife so diligently. He took care of her. He showed what it looked like. We have our moderator is definitely someone that's taking care of his mother for 20. Nate Rogers at Fox News. His mother had a stroke when he was in his freshman year in college. He's taken care of his mother for 20 years.
Wow.
And so he's our moderator. The lieutenant governor is going to be one of our special spotlights. She tells you she moved to Illinois to take care of her mom years ago. So this family caregiving, you wake up and you're in the middle of it. It's overwhelming. But
luckily, you all had each other because I know a family of 5 and it's only one person that's taking care of their mother. So a lot of times you think there are a lot of people because it's in numbers, but not in spirit.
We did it in shifts. My dad, our youngest brother, he's over 6 feet, over several hundred pounds. My mother would say, "Where Frederick?" She wanted him to come sit in the room because people didn't come into her hospital room with Frederick there and not move.
No, and that's why DearMeCareCircle.org is so important because you don't have to. And I hate to say suffer in silence, but sometimes that's what it is because people think it's all roses taking care of somebody, but there are moments of weakness because you're human. But those are the people that
never took care of anybody.
And those are the people, right, that's true. That's never taking care of people. So you want to connect with DearMeCareCircle.org because Wynona and her circle and her foundation are helping you to navigate this world so you don't have to do it alone.
And we are going to have YourMamaPodcast.com before in time for Mother's Day. But Rochelle, one of the things that we're going to be doing, because she'll be the first Your Mama podcast, is mom's legacy. When you say your mama, what was the legacy? Right. Your mama, if we had anything to tell someone else to do and not take for granted, while they still have their mother today, what would we be saying? I keep saying the videos and the photos are priceless, but
the videos and the photos, things like that, are very priceless. But spend the time.
Yep.
I have moments where I'm very sad. I don't grieve my mother. I do not grieve her. We doted on mother. So there are no regrets about what we did or how we didn't, so forth and so on. My dad did all the wrong things that he shouldn't have done, even when she was ill, when we were asking him, do not give her Dunkin' Donuts.
Or
just
South.
Spending the time. Make sure you spend the time.
That's right.
And you've put the time in, you've done all
that you can do. Yeah.
And
Regrets and grieving.
Selling. She loves shopping, and so Rochelle kept lighting her eyes up, saying, "I'll take you to Continental Sales. I'll take you to your favorite store, Dee Dee's," and she would light up.
There's an old gospel song that says, "Put your time in.
That's right.
Payday is coming after a while." And you know what? The goal that we live on life is that when we meet our Maker, He says, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." Yes. And then that well done comes from taking care of the people that God has blessed you with while you have the chance. So Rochelle, Donald, dude, thank you for joining us on the Brunch Bunch. Wynona, it's always great to have community chatter because we learn about all of the great resources that some mainstream media may not talk about all the time. And so keep doing what you're doing. And I know today may be a little bit somber for you, but we're asking God to lift your spirits as you continue to lift the spirit of your late great mother, the one and only Lucy Redmond. We love you,
we love
Lucy.
Lucy.
Listen,
We love
believers,
Lucy.
we encourage you on this Tuesday, like we do each and every day, in the spirit of I Love Lucy, to keep love alive. Tell someone that you know that you love them while you can tell them.
Yes.
Tell someone that you don't know that you love them because they may need a little love today.
A little
And
extra.
if we continue to do that, love will begin to spread like a wildfire. Tamara Fair on the air. I absolutely love you.
And Action Jackson, I absolutely love you back.
Believers, we love you.
you.
Baby
Baby
Eminem,
Eminem,
we
we
love
love
you
you
too.
too.
You know what? We'll love you even more tomorrow right here on the Brunch Bunch 12 to 1. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. We'll see you tomorrow. We out.
All right.
You guys,
All right, all right.
for those of you who are actually looking for support and caring for your loved one who's making you kind of crazy, because
Say
sometimes
something crazy.
the caregiver needs support too. You definitely want to connect with dearmecarecircle.org. And you don't want to miss this groundbreaking renovation, groundbreaking over at HSI. So you will see all of the information on our socials. Definitely connect and get where you need to be. Where I need to be is out of here. So thank you so much for joining. We had a lot of people today. Thank you. Peace, y'all.
Great show. People are saying great info, great info. And is there, I don't think I know of any other organization doing this caregiver. So you own the something. Yeah. Oh, yeah.